Hello guys, and welcome to mattsbeamer. Thanks to those who have kept regularly watching my videos and subscribing. It means a lot. But I just realised that only a few of you, a small percentage of you, are actually subscribed to my channel. So if you want more F20, F21 1 Series content, please subscribe. It means so much to me. It's not about money because I don't make money on YouTube at all. Not yet anyway. But I just like my videos going out to helping people, and the more people I help, the happier I am. Anyway, and what I'm going to do soon, hopefully, is to make a video based on the colours which were available on the F20, F21 1 Series. So if you want to see your car in that video next to the colour, you can also put your Instagram name on there to help promote your Instagram page, and feel free. But please make sure the image is big and not small, because it will pixelate. And also, please make sure that the car is actually in the photo, not like the a picture of its headlight or a door. That would be very useful. Okay, questions and answers. I'll just grab my phone. Sorry. The first question is from Milian Sase, or Milian Sase. Milian Sase or Milian Sase. I'm very sorry, I can't pronounce your surname. I think it's Sase. But anyway, he asks if my F21 series has cruise control. And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, mine does not have cruise control, but mine has the limit button which stops you going over the speed limit, which for me is very useful, especially in Moscow when there are so many cameras all over the place trying to find you. When I had my 7 Series, I had cruise control, and I never ever used it. So for me, the limit button is very useful. So I won't put the cruise control onto my F20, but I can try and explain how it works in another video. You can actually retrofit the cruise control onto the F20, F21 1 Series, but it will need code into the car. That's the only problem. I'm pretty sure there are some other YouTubers who retrofitted the cruise control to the F20. If I find one, I shall link it down below. And thank you for your question. The next question, bear with me a second, is from Lorenzo Felton. The question is, I just got a BMW F20 116i 2013 with the N13 engine, automatic. I was just wondering if you could please explain the auto start-stop function. Okay, thank you for your question. I have actually made a video based on the auto start-stop system. I shall link it down below. Mainly it tells you why the system may not work, and how to switch it off. But if you want to fully switch it off, it will need coding out of the system. I tend to turn my start-stop off, as for me it's quite frustrating and I don't like it keep cutting it out, because I personally worry that it's going to damage my engine, even though BMW and other manufacturers say it won't. That's just my opinion. The next question is from Dania Jakusanuka. Once again, I apologise about the surname. I'm absolutely awful at pronouncing surnames and other words. He asks if there is cruise control on my brother's Mk2.5 Ford Focus titanium. And yes, he does have cruise control on his car. I shall find the timestamp and link it down below, where it's actually featured in the video. The next question is from Mr. Markovic. He asks, where is the timing chain located on the N13 engine, which is what's in my car? Is it at the front or back? The chain on the N13 is actually at the front of the engine, which is very useful, because apparently you do not need to take the engine out while doing the chain, which saves you lots in labour, or if you're doing it yourself, it will save you so much time. I've never done the chain on a F20 N13 before, but yeah, I hope that was useful. My next one is from Raphael Pays. Have you noticed that your F20 is one of the few that have the E90 style dashboard down below the climate control? Is that a market thing? Is that a Russian marketing thing? or is it an early production car? Yes, unfortunately, my car does not have iDrive, as it is a Russian car. In Russia, they never got the F20, the basic ones like mine. You had to basically opt for iDrive, which is quite cheeky, because I know in England and Europe it's a standard feature on all BMWs. I wish that the original owner had opted for it, but in some ways it's probably not a bad thing, because my battery on my car is the original one from new, and it never really goes flat. It nearly went flat once after about, well, how old's my car? Since 2012 to, 8 years. It nearly went flat once. That's because I didn't use it for a month, 7 months, I guess, because of COVID. Also, my radio in my car is, I think, the same as the E90 and the original 1 series, which still does enough. It gives me any faults which happen with the car, like the servicing that which needs to be done. Like it tells me if my oil is low. It tells me if the brake fluid needs changing, all that kind of stuff. So it's just a very, very, very simple way of iDrive with no iDrive at all, if that makes sense. I think also Mexico may have had to opt for the iDrive too. So in Mexico and in Russia, some of the cars don't have iDrive. I'm sure that there are other countries too. The next question is Armadaro92. Great video as always. Just one question. How do you know when it's time to change the brake discs? I have heard it's once every 2 brake pads. Thanks, by the way. New TIS is closed since 10/10/20, October the 10th, 2020, following the demand of BMW. So with the brake discs, it is recommended that you change them once every 2 brake pad changes. But also, instead of relying on that, check to make sure there's not a big massive lip on the disc. Because if there's a lip on the disc, that means it needs changing. Also, look for signs of like scoring. You may have got a stone trapped and it might have scored the whole disc. And look for signs of if the disc is warped. There's a certain thing you can buy where you put the disc like that, and there's a little needle, and when you spin the disc, if that needle reading moves, it means the disc is warped. But people tend not to do that, as it's just cheap enough to buy new discs. Oh, and as for the TIS, the new TIS site, for me it still works. I just had to register my email address and I can get into the system. I don't know if that's because I'm in Russia and I'm still allowed, or if it's been banned in Europe. If it's been banned in Europe and you can't get that at all, please let me know, because it's very interesting. The next question is from White BMW. He asks, what is the size of the rotors on the F20 116i? Okay, it depends on which type of calipers you have. My car has the standard calipers, not the M-Tech ones, or the M Sports brakes, shall I say. So the front discs on my car are 284 by 22, while the rear ones are 290 by 11 millimeter. If you have the M Sports ones, the front ones are 340 by 30 millimeter, while the rear ones are 345 millimeter by 24. The next one is from Iceman 2020 270. He asks if the jacking point on the front of his F30 3 Series Sport is the same as the one on the F20. And I believe they are, yes. I should put a link down below of a diagram I found which shows you where the jacking points are on the F30. So look down below and it should be the same. But just to let you know, the jacking tray on my F20 is metal, not plastic like the European ones. So it could look slightly different, but it should be it should be kind of obvious where to jack up the car, as there's a sort of a recess where the jack fits. The next question is from Evolution Tonight. He asks, "Hi Matt, or anyone, is there any specific spark plug tool required? My spark plug remover seems to be the wrong type. Can you elaborate please, as I can't remove the spark plugs?" Okay, some people seem to think you need a 16mm one, but the one I used on my car was a 14mm thin-walled socket with a bihex socket. So it's important that you have that type of tool. I shall try and put a photo on the screen just here of what mine looks like. Make sure that you have the correct tool. I did use a normal socket. It did not fit at all. The walls were too thick, so I had to go and specially buy a socket for my car. That was all the questions for today, as all the questions built up. If you have any questions for the next video, please leave them down below. Sorry if I'm a bit slow at answering. I've just got a very busy life at the moment. Thank you and take care. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to know more about F20s or other cars. Don't forget, questions don't have to be about F21 series. It can be about any car you want. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, whatever you want. I'll try and figure out an answer. Thank you and take care. Goodbye.